Hello there, what is going on, everybody? The Mandalorian Faction Pack just announced from Fantasy Flight Games. This is a standalone expansion for the Star Wars deck building game, massively popular deck building game out of Fantasy Flight Games, and this is coming later this year. We're going to talk about this whole announcement. We're going to break it down for you guys. If you guys are new here to the channel, we talk a lot about Star Wars games, science fiction games, tabletop games, miniature war games, and awesome card games like the Star Wars deck building game. If you'd like to have a chance to enter to win our latest $25 Amazon gift card giveaway that just started, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. These run for about 2 weeks at a time, so you have plenty of time to enter to win the next round. And yeah, let me know what you're excited for in this particular expansion pack for Star Wars the deck building game. Plus, I may have some questions I'm going to throw at you during the video. I'd love to read the comments down in the comment section below. So, yeah, this is a standalone faction pack. This is going to augment the game, and it's going to have all kinds of stuff from The Mandalorian. So if you have seen the show The Mandalorian, you're going to have a lot of recognizable stuff in here. We get a couple of spoilers today, but not everything. It looks like Bo-Katan is absolutely in this, but we don't have a Bo-Katan spoiler. I'm sure she's going to be in this, and I'm sure we're going to see things like the dark saber and stuff like that. I think we're going to see all kinds of things like that. But this also opens the door for a lot more faction packs. They don't say that this is the only faction pack. This is the first faction pack, which is a fifth faction. We've already got the Galactic Civil War factions of the Empire and Rebellion. We've also got a Clone Wars game of the Separatists and the Republic, and those are both standalone games that you can intermingle with each other. But this one is a standalone faction pack that is not a standalone game. Right? So maybe I shouldn't be using the word standalone. It is not a standalone product. It needs the base game of either the Clone Wars base game or the Galactic Civil War base game to be able to play, because this is just a single faction. You can't play the full deck builder with just a single faction. And this is cool because this kind of paves the way for a lot of new faction packs. There could be other standalone faction packs that maybe they could do. I don't expect Moff Gideon to show up in this particular expansion pack. It's possible in theory, but they could do like an Imperial Remnant, for example, faction packs. They could do a Hutt faction pack. They could do Crimson Dawn faction packs and things like that. As a faction, they work a lot with bounty hunters. They have a lot of things that are going to synergize with bounty hunters and existing neutral cards for whichever version of the game, whether you're playing Galactic Civil War or you're playing Clone Wars, right? And it looks like they're basically going to like swap out. So if you were playing the Clone Wars one and you want to play Republic, maybe I'd pull out all the Separatist cards and insert all of the Mandalorian cards. Now, their cards are green bordered. They are going to have their own force tree. They're going to have their own planets. They're going to have, again, green borders on the cards, so it'd be easy to separate them and make them distinct from, you know, your Empire or your Rebels or whatever, you know, whoever you're playing against, which definitely helps. There's also a 3-player variant. We're going to talk about that as well because that is also kind of cool. But let's talk about some of the spoilers, some of the cards that we're going to get. They do have their same standard starter deck. This is called the Mandalorian Starter. Mandalorian Soldier, it's your trooper, it's your basic attack. They also have your basic shuttle. By the way, I love all the art that they have for this. This is great art. You're going to see awesome art on every single card. And I think most of this is new. It may all be new. I think at least 1 or 2 pieces we've seen before, but a lot of all new art that I haven't seen in other games yet. So that's a promising thing. So it does also make me think, if you guys are Star Wars Legion players, this does make me think we could be seeing a Mandalorian faction. I'll talk more about that in another video, but I think a lot of the art that we were seeing here paves the way for that. So that's a cool thing. Let's look at some more spoilers. So we've got the Child of the Watch, which is the 3rd card that comes in the starter deck. This is that wild that can be one of anything. So pretty cool. They're not too focused on the Force, by the way. As you're going to see here with the Clan Kree's Commando, they don't have as many like Force sensitives. Not to say that they have none, but they get benefits if the Force is on a neutral space. So if your opponent's doing all these force cards to pull it closer to them, you're just like, no, let's keep it in the middle. I don't need it totally with me, but I don't want it with you either. Which is kind of cool. That's very fitting, very thematic. And I also, one thing I kind of like about these guys is that they're not changing the core game, at least that I can see. They look like it's a new expansion, it's a new cards, but it still seems like it falls within the core rules of the game, outside of just swapping out one faction for another. For the most part, there is a 3-player variant, but if you're not interested in that, don't worry about it. You still play the game as normal with the new faction. You've got, gosh, I love these things. The Protectorate Fighter, you've got, when you purchase this, add it to your hand and draw a card if the force marker is on the neutral space. Again, more neutral stuff, right? The Armorer, awesome art there, by the way. This is all new. I haven't seen the Armorer in art yet, so that's a cool thing. She costs 6. She's 3 attack and 3 resources. Repair 3 damage from your base. 5 if it's on a neutral space. You're starting to see a trend here. Now, the reward here is 3 force for whoever is, if they kill her. So again, that you don't want to lose the armor because that would be crippling to a lot of your efforts, right? So that much is cool. We got, we got that awesome N1 Starfighter variant for Din's his N1 Starfighter. Well, they just Din's Starfighter. Makes me wonder if it did have a name and it was like Slave 3 or something like that. And they're like, no, let's just call it Din's Starfighter instead of giving it a name. Little joke on some of the Boba Fett Slave 1 jokes. All right. So it says if the force marker is on the neutral space, destroy a capital ship and your opponent has in play. Cool stuff. Expensive, but does a lot of damage. I didn't think that this Starfighter had that much damage because this is a crazy level of damage, so I'm like, how is it, again, this is a card game. It's not meant to be 100% thematic. It doesn't need to be 100% lore accurate. That's an extreme amount of damage from a little N1 kind of retrofit, right? So that's kind of funny. We've got this Balatar Swoop Rider. When you purchase a card, move the force marker 1 space toward neutral. That's a trooper. That sounds pretty cool. Also, I'll throw out that if you're, again, on the topic of Legion getting stuff or more Mandalorians eventually showing up, this could make a good unit for Legion as well. Definitely fits in the scale, right? If you familiar with Mandalorian, we've got Axe Woves, which is again not exactly like a deep cut, but not the most recognizable character. So I like to see that they're pulling lots of different Mandalorian characters. This is a good thing. Axe is a 3 attack. You place him on top of the Galaxy deck to move the force marker towards the neutral space, so he can leave and come back. Right? He's kind of freelancing it. We've got a Mandalorian Hunter. Bounty Hunter. If the force is with you, move the force marker towards the neutral space. This unit gains 1 for each space the force marker moved this way. I'm guessing if you play 2 of them, then they each become more progressively more powerful. Like if you have a team of Mandalorian hunters, then they could potentially get 2. Oh no, to the neutral space. To the neutral space. So that's kind of cool because if it's with you, you'll have the extra resource at the start of your turn, and then you set it back to neutral. You can then this is a good opener. Play this and then place all the rest of your cards after that. So that's good. You're seeing some of the synergy. You get this kind of land skimmer thing from the season 1, episode 1. Of Mandalorian, it looks like. The Survivor Langskib. I didn't know what this thing was called. And this is one of the ways we learn more obscure facts about Star Wars is through card games, right? Where we can read all of these things. You can choose, and I always love it when cards give you choices. It doesn't do anything on its own, but it gives you a choice. You can move the force marker to the neutral space or gain 3 monies. Money. That's a good one. Casca Reeves. 4 attack. She can attack a neutral unit in the Galaxy row using that unit's cost as its target value. Very, very bounty hunter-ish, right? If you defeat the unit, gain money equal to its cost. So, very cool. We got the Foundling complete with Walmart bargain bin helmet. I love how it's not the coolest looking helmet, but it was very funny. It's like, hey, look, we're going to scrape together whatever we can for you, younglings. There's a whole lot of you, so you're getting like the hand-me-down helmet a little bit. Exile this unit to add the next bounty hunter or trooper you purchase this turn to your hand. I'm always curious, like, how that, like, I guess it's like they're growing up, so they grow up into that next bounty hunter or something. I don't know. Or the bounty hunter kills them, and then you say, hey, you killed my kid, now you have to serve my family. I don't know how that thematically is working out. It's a little weird. Again, card games don't have to be 100% lore accurate. They're more about function, a little bit more so than form, but yeah. We have the Razor Crest. This one's a powerful one. It's 4 attack and 3 money. The next bounty hunter or trooper you purchase this turn to your hand directly at a 7 cost. We've got a Mandalorian Hijacker at 4 attack. This unit can attack a capital ship in the Galaxy Row. If you destroy it, exile this unit to purchase that ship for free and add it to your hand. This is cool. Now, most capital ships are a little stronger than this, so I wonder, this is one of those units you're going to need more than one of, and if you can get 2 of them, then boom, you just got a Star Destroyer, right? Like something like that's crazy. I think that's enough to get a start. I'm going off of memory here because I haven't played the game in a few months, but yeah, no, like that's awesome. That's awesome. We have the Mandalorian. Honestly, first impression, why didn't they call him Din Djarin? Like, this is the name of a unit that would have been made, like, when Mandalorian Season 1 was first, like, in mid-production or whatever. But, dude, we've had 3 seasons. It's been over. We've known his name for a long time. Especially when you see the next card isn't called the Child. The next card is Grogu. So, like, we clearly knew that what the Mandalorian's name is. He doesn't go by the Mandalorian anymore, but oh well, whatever. I'm sure there's a licensing reason they had to go with the Mandalorian instead of Din Djarin. Maybe we're gonna find out in the movie that that's not really his name, and he's just gonna be the Mandalorian, right? Because maybe it's probably because the movie is called The Mandalorian and Grogu, so they wanted the Mandalorian and Grogu. That's probably why they want this. I'm seeing it. Predictions for that movie, there's going to be something about the name where he's going to find out his name isn't Din Djarin anymore. That's my prediction for the Mandalorian and Grogu name, based on the fact that this is called The Mandalorian. Not that FFG knows what's going to happen, but it may have been that Lucasfilm said, no, don't call him Din Djarin, just call him The Mandalorian. Wink, wink, trust us. That's my guess. Again, I'm a conspiracy theorist with stuff like this. I love to like dive in. Like, what could it mean? Is there a secret meaning behind it? And it's probably nothing at all. He is a bounty hunter, though. 5 attack. When the Mandalorian defeats a target in the Galaxy Row, choose a card in your discard pile. Place that card on the top of your deck or exile it. So you have some cool stuff. Look, I mean, honestly, I think most of the time you're going to get something from your top of your deck and put it on top, or from your discard pile and put it on top of your deck. But if you happen to get him early enough, you can start using him to exile and make your deck stronger. So again, I like that you have choices there. So that's pretty cool. And he's still a 5 attack, even if you're not trying to defeat something from the Galaxy Row. Grogu is got 2 force. So again, they do have some force things. You can still pull the force towards you. Draw a card, 2 cards instead if you have the Mandalorian in play. Again, it's thematic. It's like your Han and Chewie, right? Or the Millennium Falcon and all that other stuff. So very cool cards. Let's talk about the 3-player variant that they have. They're basically, you're going to take like half your cards and shuffle them into half of your opponent's half of their cards, and you're going to, have like a deck over here, a deck over there, and a deck over there, and everybody's going to do this. You're going to kind of create three Galaxy Rows, which is real interesting. And then you take your force thing and you put it this way. So again, this means that there's room for a 4-player game at some point also, or maybe an 8-player game if you really want to go crazy with it. Although it would probably be a little bit trickier to do more than 4. But it looks like this particular system, there's no problem doing it up to 4 players also. But no, this is pretty cool. So you're gonna basically, have there's new 3-player game cards also. So we've got we've got some new planets, and the 3-player cards are going to say 3-player only. So we've got Lothal, we've got Dantooine, and a lot of these cards you're going to notice they talk about an opponent as opposed to your opponent. In Concord Dawn, by the way, that looks just awesome. The Concord Dawn does look really cool. So very cool stuff. We got the Pike Repulsor Train. This unit cannot leave play. Look at that. We're seeing some really interesting stuff. Each player can bounty hunt sabotage this unit as though it were in the Galaxy row, and the reward is to draw an additional card at the end of your turn. That's nasty. It's a train heist, right? And it just stays there. That's funny. We've got an Aqualish Raider, who is a scoundrel at 2 attack. When this unit attacks and damages an opponent's base, gain 2 money. You got Pelimato. Repair 2 damage from a base or capital ship. If you repair damage from an opponent's card this way, gain 2 money. So, and this is an interesting one because it brings in the multiplayer aspect of, don't pick on me, he's the bigger threat. He's got a full health Star Destroyer over there. So maybe you do want to repair somebody else's stuff, you know? Yeah, that's kind of cool. We got Cobb Vanth. Now, it's a thing, though, because I'm like, he's super cool, but at the same time, if he's only in the 3-player variant, that means he's not in the 2-player variant. Although, it could be kind of appropriate to have him in the 3-player variant. It says, choose an opponent. You and that player each draw 1 card, which is cool. We've got Kuil, who has spoken. It does give you some force, too. Choose an opponent. You and that player each place a card of your respective discard piles on top of your respective decks. So there's a little bargaining power. It's like, hey, look, if you don't attack me, I can reward you. You know, I can reward you if you don't attack me, attack him. And so, like, that's a cool aspect. Like, I kind of dig that. We got 2 more cards to look at. We got Grief Karga. He's a scoundrel. He lets you pay money equal to the cost of a unit in your discard pile to add it to your hand. You must exile that unit at the end of your turn. You're kind of disposable to this guy. He thinks you're that gator that took his hand. You damn fool, Happy. We're gonna pay your cost, and we're gonna exile you. You're gonna give up. You're gonna give up hockey, and you're gonna start playing golf. That's what you're gonna do. And we've got IG-11 with Nanny Protocol. And IG-11 is a bounty hunter droid, 5 attack here. When IG-11 defeats a card in the Galaxy row, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add a revealed unique card to your hand. So that one is pretty cool. He can go out and rescue somebody. He's trying to find Grogu, right? Or maybe he's trying to find Din Djarin or somebody like that. So very, very cool. Now, when can you get this? When is it coming out? How much does it cost? Well, the cost is surprisingly awesome. It's only $17.99 for all of this, and there's more stuff we haven't seen. We haven't seen Bo-Katan yet, right? And I'm sure we'll probably get those things spoiled at some point. But yeah, you're getting a lot of stuff in here. This is a super cool pack. I'm excited for it. You're getting 10 base cards, 10 starter cards, 30 galaxy cards, 19 neutral cards, and the Force Track card as well. So, very cool stuff. Now, this comes out in October. October 17th is the planned release date for the Mandalorian Faction Pack. $17.99. It's up for pre-order right now, as a matter of fact. You can head over to asmodee.com and pre-order it. I'll put a link to the Fantasy Flight article page so you can read over it. It also has a pre-order link there. If that's something that you're interested in doing, you can check it out. Let me know what you want to see as maybe the next faction pack that they could do for the Star Wars deck building game. What do you think would be appropriate? Maybe Pikes, maybe Shadow Syndicate, or maybe the Hutt Cartel, or maybe doing sequel trilogy stuff. All right? Do you think the First Order would work in a game like this? Do you think some Old Republic stuff? Maybe the Sith? Maybe Grand Admiral Thrawn and the Chiss Expansionary Defense Fleet. Do you think that could work in the Star Wars deck building game? There's a lot of really cool stuff. Maybe the Witches of Dathomir, right? Like, there's a whole lot of really cool things that we could do. I think it would be awesome. Maybe Thrawn and Dathomir combined based on what happens in Ahsoka Season 2. Who knows? There's a lot of really cool options. And that's one of the things that I love about this sort of thing, is that it kind of brings up some really interesting potential. And I feel like I'm going to have to speculate and do some more videos in the future on what we might see. But let me know some of your thoughts, and maybe we'll include them in the next Star Wars, the deck building game prediction video. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to enter that giveaway, subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, share the video. Go ahead and click the links in the description below. You can check out the article. You can also jump in our Discord and keep the discussion going there. And check out social media stuff. And big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing. Patreon is also linked down in the description below if you're interested in maybe getting your name in the credits or some other awesome benefits, Discord roles, and so on and so forth. Check all of that out, and we'll talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all, and always wash your socks.